Good morning. We have an Arakni game. Everyone likes Arakni games or something. Arakni is a pretty easy-going game for the most part. You definitely can lose it. It can sometimes go catastrophically wrong, but all in all, it's kind of fine. Have they forgotten to put Arcade Barrier in? Yes, they have. Oops, not you, you. Gonna have to remember to go through my stats and remove this game now. As I was saying, Arakni is a relatively easy game. You know, it's a high win rate, it's not an auto win. You know, we're not illusionists, we don't get auto win games. Okay, what we got? Okay, this is interesting, different to last time. Want to get the healing potion in place, so we can't just go straight into channel, unfortunately. Turn 1 channels can be good, but I mean we don't really have an outlet for them either, so. The nice thing I'm putting in Arsenal is that if Arakni does get rid of it, it goes to banish and means that our first decompose is great. So I have no real desire to do anything about anything they're doing here unless it's that. I really want to keep the tree. We'll see how we get on with this. Them only having AB2 makes tree pretty good. It's only AB3 that really turns it off. And obviously when we get to do things like this, it's just going to hit very hard. Getting 11 damage out is pretty good, even though obviously it took a lot of cards. You know, it's a 4-card 11, so it's actually slightly below rate, but it makes it up on the next turn, in principle. And there's basically nothing we can do about this. We could like Barkskin and Felling. not the worst choice actually, because it'll push things down. They can get that card whenever they want. It's just making them use resources. I'm not gonna though. I'm just gonna take it. I think I'm just going to try and trade out blows, really bluntly. This is unfortunately a fairly meh hand, but it's got some gas. Big hit from them. That's annoying. Probably throw the sigil, much as I don't like it. Just because I get to keep the tree an extra turn. Very big Arakni turn though. This is like premium for them. So we went this line basically to keep the tree another turn because I didn't think it was worth the 3 life versus losing the tree, because the tree potentially does 6 a turn. That's kind of the judgment call on it. I'm also trying to just pressure them because I say they've got AB2 and there's not much they can do about most of this. This is good value now because obviously if they're going to lose this. Yeah, taking a toxin is pretty good. And they've now seen 2 toxins, so I can probably actually block without too much worry. Okay, so we need to keep the mental block so we can surge it into Mind Warp. So we've got 7 block, that's not too bad. I'd like to use the mental block, obviously, that would be lovely, but we don't get that choice. And the choice, obviously, is we could shelter potentially, depending on what they throw. But yeah, I thought I'd be more ahead than this at this point, if I'm honest. I did not expect such a big turn from them. As I say, you know, this is a game Arakni can win. It's very favoured for Verdance, but that doesn't mean we are going to win. Okay, so they've gone for the clave. I think I'm going to use the shelter to prevent some ones. It's hard to know whether it's the right choice or not into Arakni sometimes, because sometimes they just try and hit you quite hard. But I'm hoping their claves are just going to bounce here, because they're regular Arakni, obviously. This will prevent them being able to mark pretty much. as a note, if they weren't just on the AB2, we would not be holding the mental block. We'd just go for a straight mind walk for 5. Because it's better blocking, basically. Because they're on 2. It makes the tree quite efficient because obviously you Surgent for 4, they can prevent 2, and then you Mind Wall for 4. See what they'd like. That's fine. I mean, I'm happy to take both knives into a shelter. I'm surprised he wanted to do that. He wants one of them. Not sure if it was worth it for him, to be honest, but and then the worst card. So they can't do that, right? No. That's going to hurt. They are racing very, very nicely here. I neglected to block because I wanted the CNC basically. I'm thinking once I hit this Mind Warp, I'll hopefully force them to put a card into Arsenal. I'll get good value from that on the next turn. But we'll see. As I say, I'd like a bit more breathing room against the Arakni, to be honest, because they are racing very hard and they are functionally winning at the moment. This is good though. This means they're probably going to AB2 this. Or are they just AB1ing it? AB1's even better because they can't stop the Mind Warp, but yeah. This is fine. We're still going to throw it because it'll do 2 damage. That's not a good turn. That is not the turn we want to see. This upcoming turn is going to be really crap because I have nothing at all. Because I'd like that felling and that's already been banished. Obviously what we're trying to do here is bait an arcane barrier off them. My ideal is that they do that rather than take the one, because the card is more valuable to them. They can obviously a card in hand and one floating, which is a decent threat of 6 damage off the next card. One of the main reasons I like Surgeon most is because it is quite good at threatening like this. You know, that's it's a shame they used the sync up, but you know, it's still good. But like if they want to keep that arsenal, they're now going to have to use 2 cards from hand, so this is just win-win for me at this point. You know, we're taking 3 things off them this turn. Yeah, we're happy with that. These are some wet hands. Okay, that gets awkward. I am tempted to pass it so I can hit them with this Autumn's Touch, and I know that's shit, but that's the best play I've got. Because I still just have very little earth in the bin, so I can't even get my decompose going in a meaningful way. So we've still got the root bound to mess with the equation here. This is fine. Look at them with all the toys. Considering what I've got, I think we throw this in and we just lose the Autumn's Touch because it's not going to do anything. I'll take one and lose that, that's fine. Put the sigil to Arsenal, it's not an awful turn for me if I'm honest. This would be perfect if I can hold on to cards. Block out with the Plough and the Command and Conquer and I can felling them and that'll be a really good turn. You know, best turn would be that I only have to use the Command and Conquer. I can Sergeant first and bait them, but you know, that would require them doing nothing with a 4-card hand. And the hand can't be amazing because they've just been digging. Okay, this is good. This is good. Going to choose to do all 3 so my ability turns on here. Will make my next decompose a little bit harder because I don't have a spare earth card in there anymore, but gives me a lot of juice. Also means I can get some actual value from that potion if I want to just chug it. This has been a good Arakni game though. It's been much, much tighter than an average game. You know, it's still losable. It's still winnable. It's all exciting times. Just trying to decide how I want to play this. I could do... I kind of want the Mind Warp for pressure, even though they can, they've got the tunic, so it really isn't any pressure. So it's definitely the Mind Warp not being used. This is difficult. Playing the healing potion is basically my turn here, I think. So it's what do we do otherwise? We'll give them that. And we'll mental block. That's what we'll do. That could be used to ping them for 1, but that's not very interesting. So, and we'd like it in the bin for next turn or something, that'd be good. So I'm going to take 1 and be marked a couple of times. That's fine because they have like no resources left. Oh, they have a tunic left. I'm not sure if they're going to do. Are they going to play this way? It looks like they've undone it to not do it. You can hear a lot of tapping. My dog's running around now. Okay, so they're back to this plan, I think. Oh no, that. I mean, we're taking the tour. We're doing the bark skin. I think we'll do the bark skin and prevent the 2. We obviously don't get to play with the trigger, but I'd like to just not do that. Also, we're going to hope that Arakni becomes a bad Arakni. That's a decent Arakni. That's sad. So we're going to crack this. Just because I want the life and I want the pings. Just threatening their health repeatedly here. But 14's pretty healthy. We'll still have a healing potion in play in case we get any combo. Otherwise, we'll just feed it into more Verdance. And then we've got the Ponder token to put something in Arsenal, that's a reasonable Arsenal card. And that's a very red hand, which is not what we wanted. So this is probably a full block turn, if anything. They're on a 5-card hand, which is a shame. So they get to see my shit hand. One thing that is good about this is that I can use the bark skin and this will block like 16. So, you know, that's a positive. So they might have drawn the third. I've forgotten the name of the damn thing. Tarantula Toxin. They might have drawn the third of that, but we just have to kind of live with it. Yeah, so since they're doing that, we're definitely going to give them stuff to think about. This will still get a couple of damage through, but this is pretty optimum, and it gives me a turn as well, which is kind of important. Okay, this is getting crazy. Jesus, this is going to hurt. Can Arakni go? Yeah, straight 10 to the dome. So this is Bonds of Agony, and just for anyone who's not aware, this card is called Life, and my combo parts are called Life. I don't really want them to hit any of that. I'm just going to empty my hand and have a life, because my turn's otherwise unplayable anyway. That's done. Have 2 more life back. Friends, some more ping. They don't have the tunic for 2 turns, so I've got pressure in that regard that they can't just do that. Okay, so if they're taking that, we are going to throw this Mind Warp. Make them consider their life choices. But we have a Pulsing Ether in bin, so we can find damage if we need it. We've got to push through 4 block. Cool, that's lethal, I think. As good a time as any, I guess. Oops, don't want to put that in at all. I wasn't trying to click it for that, I was thinking of doing the thing, but just trying to think the best way of doing this. I could boots and just like heartbeat snapback, but that's not going to kill them. It'd have to be double snapback, so I can't heartbeat. I'm not going to do anything about this, and I'm going to see what they do. Right, that makes me think I want to go for this. Right, now we go for it. We're definitely doing the Storm Striders, so we can just pay that in. We do not want to give him the flick knife window, basically. So we could throw 2 snapbacks, and they can prevent 2 and then 4. This is difficult. I think we do pick up the ether. And the reason we're picking that up is that they're going to prevent it, and they're hopefully going to over prevent it. We're trying to force them to lose the arcane barrier, so the snapback kills them. Which is why we're doing it this ordering, where this threatens 4, which is slightly better. Yeah, so that should now be lethal because they can't prevent enough. There we go. That was a tight game. Fun one. Well played, Marine. Well played. Yeah, very, very tight, but you know, the joys of boots. You don't get your last turn necessarily. Yeah, the was it 19 damage? That oh yeah, the 20 damage threaten off that take up the mantle attack was huge. Yeah, fun game. I hope you enjoyed watching that one. I definitely enjoyed playing it. These are the games I like Flesh and Blood for. You know, interesting and close, not just, you know, one deck absolutely storming another. Yeah, so good game. I'll see you in the next one.